When she came back with that, I was already pissed. At that point, I was just like, you know what, like I'm real done with her.
What's up, YouTube? This your girl C.
What's up, y'all? This your girl Taiya,
and we out for a video. So tonight's story time. Wow, ooh. So when we do our story time, this is true. Like, we been there, done that. Like, no more after that. So before we get to this video, hit like, comment, subscribe to this channel. If you're new, go ahead, hit like, comment, subscribe to this channel. What you need to do, babe?
make sure to hit that bell.
You already know what time it is. And before we even get to this video, like I said, you know, just hit the comments what y'all want us to do. We can do a little truth or drink. But our questions, we don't care. So our questions could be not kids involved, 18 older. So I'm very spontaneous. I don't care what come out my mouth. So if it's randomly come out your mouth, then hey, I'm gonna walk with it. I'm gonna answer questions for y'all, for everybody.
But FYI, we just want to make sure that you know this is not kid friendly. This is 18 and older or 21 and older. We will be talking about grown folks conversations. So
right.
If you are a child and you're under the age of 18, we do advise you to
boop, 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 boop. Get the hell on. So therefore, we're gonna go and get this shit rolling. Let's get to this story time. So y'all already heard about my 2 story times. Now it's time for my wife to tell about a story time. So where's your story time for everybody?
So this story time would be about my ex. I'm not gonna say any names on here. So I would just say this person is Minnie Fresh. Basically
Minnie Fresh.
Minnie Fresh, because she resembles Minnie Fresh. Don't ask me.
He ain't cute, but anyway, let's keep on going.
But so basically, me and Minnie Fresh was together for 3 years. When we first met, I had just got over a relationship of 4 years for someone previously. Not going to say their names. After then, I think I gave myself a couple of weeks, but I think I didn't give myself too much time, which is why kind of led me to this situation over here with her. So when we met, it was one of those, if you remember Tag was like another one of those POFs, or you know what I'm saying.
We stay going on our own line. That's the problem.
Yeah, because basically, you know, in Mobile, you don't really just get to just walk up to somebody and actually meet somebody face to face, unless you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Me, I didn't really know people that actually knew other people at that time, so I just, you know, resorted to the internet. So when I met her on tape, it was kind of like back and forth messaging. And we ended up meeting at her sister's house. She didn't have her own place. She didn't even have her own car. She was She just
she was a broke bitch.
You can say that. But basically, I just met her, you know what I'm saying, at her sister's house one night. You know, we were just chilling, we were just talking or whatever. And we ended up kissing that night or whatever, but it wasn't, you know what I'm saying, nothing serious. It was just on some bullshit.
Did she know how to kiss?
She know how to put spit all over the place. I'm just gonna say that.
Hell no! Jesus, take the wheel.
But she wasn't too much of a kisser, so it was just like, you know, I just went along with it for real. You know what I'm saying? I think at that time I was just a little desperate. At that time, because like I said, I was single. I was just getting over something, you know, long term. So after a while, you know, after we started, you know, kicking, I started, you know, feeling her a little bit, conversations on the phone, you know. I've been meeting up with her at her sister's house, at her homeboy house. And after a while, you know, we had, you know, of course we had, you know, relations. And I ended up one day leaving from my mama's house to go stay with her at her homeboy house for a little while. Why did I do it? I don't know. Because at that time, the house that he was in, it was just like, it was an apartment. He was like handicapped. Don't get me wrong. He was very, very sweet. He's a very, very sweet person. He opened his house to everything, but his house is kind of like a trap house a little bit because.
How you been handicapped in the trap house?
Shit, that's how his house was. All his homeboys knew where to go to. Everybody knew where to go play cards at, where to go play dominoes at, where to go play spades at, where to go smoke at, all the other stuff, and that was where his kicking spot was. Everybody just went over there. And just being over there with her, at first it was cool. I was just right there under her. We was like together. We was in one of his rooms that he had, you know. We just kind of just made it do. But I was just like, you know, at that time I was just in love. I didn't really appreciate the time for myself. So it was just like, I was just okay with everything. I was young and dumb. So after a while staying there, his cousin, you know, of course, income tax came around. I was chilling with, you know, I'm thinking, you know, I'm the shit. Like, I was good. We was happy. But I started noticing little stuff about her. She is the type that she doesn't like to commit. And it was just like, she had commitment problems. She couldn't really stop talking to her exes for real. She was just, you know, the type that's just, you know.
Is all her exes was cute? Or they were like booger bells?
I probably had one that was like she was cute. But again, when we had broke up, she actually left me for a girl in Pritchard. So it was after that, it ended bad. It just ended bad. And I should have just took that time for myself, but I didn't. So, but after a while, it was just, like I said, we was chilling. And I met her cousin down. Like I said, her cousin was real, real cool. She had dress, whatever. She's, you know what I'm saying, real nice people. And then her cousin, girlfriend at the time, she was real, real cool. And, she ain't had no job. So it was just like,
wait a minute. So how did she get her money? How did she get her money though?
I don't know. I don't know. She just like, I don't know. Cause it was just like, when I met, like I said, she wasn't really working. She was just, you know, it was just, I don't know. And I should have asked questions.
But she was young, you ain't know no better, and it be like that sometimes. You know, when you fall in love with somebody, you know, you be like, you know, when you young, you be like, that's my cuddle buddy, you know. But now you be like, what the fuck I was with this person for?
Yeah, then to the fact that at that time, you know, I was working, but at the same time was like, I was having money, but I used to be the type that just like, instead of a motherfucker, you know, spending money on me or spending their time with me or like, or spoiling me, I will always be the one that be spoiling them. And I didn't realize it till about now. I was just like, man, like all that time, it was just like, I would like make sure they had money in their pocket. I make sure they had gas, make sure they had food, make sure that, you know what I'm saying, if they smoke, I would have made sure, you know what I'm saying, they had whatever they had for doing it. I was just there for just everything, but it was nothing in return for me, but just, you know, just relations.
Make sure they was just leeching.
Basically.
Damn. Sucking the blood. Sucking the goddamn blood.
So it just started from there. We just started, and them problems started to increase more and more. And it was just like, she was always gone. But one of my first alarms from her was, it was an ex that, like I said, she was still conversating with. And I think one night I was asleep. She asked me because she used my car. I was like, sure, yeah. So I think it was like late. They had to go to the bank for something. I think it was her homeboy had to go to the bank for something because he was like wheelchair bound. So, you know, he couldn't really drive himself. He had to have somebody drive him. So when they got back to the house, she called me while she was on her way there like, hey, your tire, you know what I'm saying, popped on the way here. So I was just like, what? Like, you know, nothing really goes on with my tire. What's going on with my tire? So she was just like, you know, it busted while the way there. So the next morning when I got up to go look in my car, I noticed that it was slashes in my car. So usually I would know if
So somebody slash it?
Yeah, somebody slashed my shit. Because no, I have never had that problem with nobody. Ain't nobody really go nowhere and like mess with my car, or I ain't never had that happen to me before. And I didn't have that problem until I met her. So it was just like when I looked at them one and I looked at the side of the wheels, I was just like, if it popped, it would have popped from that one section. But this was like cuts going this way, that way, this way, up, down. I was just like, and I asked her, I was like, are you still messing around with your ex? She was like, no, why would you say that? I'm just
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
It's like, well, it's kind of odd that, you know, if it popped, it would have popped from a section. It wouldn't just, you know what I'm saying, be slashes all over the tires. So I was just like, she got some shit going on, because I ain't never had that problem. And then at the time, my homegirl at the time, I was explaining to her that she was just like, man, you need to leave her alone, because you never had those type of problems. Even with your last relationship, you never had those type of problems. She just got your tires slashed, and they don't tell her what she got going on. But I tried to just basically just like push her to the side, like, you know, like I really like her. You know, I tried to like push her to the side, and my friend got mad at me because.
But I didn't mean to cut you off, but my thing was, that was a warning sign, because you knew all this time your tires was normal before then. You know, you should have been left. Because ain't nobody gonna slash my goddamn tire. That bitch minute fresh, and that little ugly ass girl gonna have to end up paying for that shit.
Period.
Because I would have turned up on that ass. I won't get no fuck.
Yeah, I don't even think nobody even paid for it. I think I still had to end up getting it fixed. But everybody was just like,
I would have been like
everybody
that.
kind of had the side eye. You know, even my mom and them, they were just like, you know, ended up having to pay for it, you know, because it was just like, but everybody had the side eye, like, you know, that don't make no sense. Even when I had brought her by my mom and them house, everybody was just like, it's kind of strange how your tires ended up slashing. But, you know, regardless of that, I still kind of just pushed to the side. I wanted to be with her because I really was growing to like her. So I was just like, I pushed to the side. And my brother was just like, Taiya, you really should have just left her alone. But after a while, stuff started to like real deal, like not make sense. It was just like, you know, again, she wasn't working. It was just like every other time, you know, I think after that first puppy love phase of me and her, it started to like
Deteriorated.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It was just like the sex started changing. And I noticed that
Was
too.
it good?
At first, it was okay. Because you know how at first it'd be like, you know, it'd be good, but after a while, it'd be just like.
But was it good, like. Or if it was like better than.
No.
Damn. That's fucked up. Continue on with the story.
But it just started, I started noticing, but I kind of just like ignored the signs. But what really started messing with me is just like when she started like really cheating, and it was like starting to not just be, it's not hiding, it started to be more like in my face. And it was just like, and every time I would confront her about it, it'd be like I'm tripping, or I'm just bashing and stuff, this, that, and the third. And then it was just like, I think one time it was just like, we got into it so bad. It was like, I would say one of these days, like she had a homeboy that I really did not like, for real. I only dealt with him because she was dealing with him. But it was a guy I really didn't like. He was like the type that would like get her in like a lot of trouble. And that was the thing, she was older. She had, like I said, she was older in age, but she had a mindset of like a 21-year-old. So it was just like, you know, she liked to hang with these dudes who are like younger than her.
Oh my God.
So it was
she
just,
even got her shit together.
she used to like to hang out with people like that, and I never understood it. Just like, if you're older, you want to hang out with people who's like-minded. But it was the flip side. So whenever we got kicked out of her homeboy house because of so many people complaining to the front office, we ended up having to stay in the hotel. So when we stayed in the hotel, you know, it was some stuff going on. She was doing stuff she had no business doing. And I was the one that ended up being left at the hotel but she'll be gone for like hours in my car. And it was one night, I believe, we got into it real bad. And I think I found out about, I could not remember what it was. It was something I found out about, and I believe it was about another female. And when I found out about that, I went like ballistic. And I ended up, like, look, you might have to take your shit out my car, or you need to stay here. I'm not gonna stay with you no more. So I believe, I think she called me about something to come by there. So when I, like stupid me, I went over there to go and see what she wanted. We ended up getting into a heated argument. So she ended up wanting to pull the pistol out on me because we didn't got into it. So I was just like, you know what, fuck it. So I went to her homeboy house, let her know exactly what was going on. Like, I was mad. I think I ended up calling one of my stud friends at the time, and she didn't like that neither. She was really pissed off to the point where she about to beat her ass. So I was just like, I'm done with it. I'm not gonna deal with her no more. And I let her stay there with her wannabe always in some shit homeboy. So I ended up getting the apartment across the street from where her homeboy used to stay at, the one with the trap house. But it was on the other side.
The one in the wheelchair.
Yeah, the one from the wheelchair.
I just don't understand, like, how you gonna be in the trap house? I know in the wheelchair, but I know some folks could drive in the wheelchair. He had his shit together?
He had a motorized wheelchair, but that's like I said, but he couldn't drive no car because he was like basically
Paralyzed.
Yeah, paralyzed from waist down. Mm-hmm. But I moved like maybe like across I live on the other side. So I ended up getting my apartment, I was good. Like I said, I'm gonna start over on my own. I didn't, got the money for it and everything. So when I did that, obviously she ended up finding out about it. And then she ended up wanted to come over there, and then it was from her coming over there to her getting back over there where I was. Why did I let her come back over there? I don't know. So when I think it was a sign to when she came over there and wanted to move in with me, the lights got turned off that day.
Dang.
But I had found out it was an old bill that was in my name that I did not know nothing about, which that is a whole nother side of the story. But ended up happening like that. I had to end up paying money to get the power back on over there where I was, and I stayed in those apartments for a little while, and then stuff started to get kind of shaky. It was one incident, I would say, probably like we got into a few fights, got into a few arguments. She was always gone in my car. I wouldn't even see her to me, but like 5-6 hours later, like she'll be gone. And basically, it was one time she knew this homeless dude in Mobile who she went to high school with. And she was like letting him come over, chill and everything, and he would leave because he stayed on the streets. But he started to spend the night over there, or every time I cook, he'd be over there eating. I'd be just like, what the hell? Like, I only was like cooking for you, your cousin and everybody else. I wasn't planning on doing it. So it ended up to where I was just like basically doing everything for everybody. And then it was one night, I'll say, that I got up out the bed. I think I was thirsty. I wanted some water. So I'm getting out the bed. I'm going to the kitchen. Everybody was on my fucking living room floor.
I'm keeping. What the fuck is going on in this neighborhood? We don't get down like that.
Like
damn. Just like when the
it,
grandmas used to bring your children, the grandchildren back in the days, and everybody, mom and sister, cousin.
Yeah, because I was like, and I instantly got me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in my house? So I was just like, oh no. So when I talked to her about it, she got upset that I even brought it to her attention. So probably later on, after she ain't had no job for a little while, I ended up helping her get a job at a home health place I was working for at the time. So she stayed at that job for a little while. She had a few clients here and there, whatever. She stayed there for like a good little minute. And after then, I guess she started getting cocky because she had a job. So I guess she felt like, oh well, I got money now, so I rule everything. Like I do this, I do that. I taking over everything. So I was just like, you big and bold because now you finally got a job. Like, kudos to you, finally. But I think it was one time she real deal betrayed me one time, because usually when I have my car, she'll drop me off and would go to her patient's house while I was at a patient house in what was it called, Jesus?
Somewhere in Mobile.
No, it was across the way in Mobile. I think it was Daphne. I was in Daphne, Alabama, taking care of a patient over there. So all those times, I would basically not really hear from her. It used to be like slow talk. And whenever I do talk to her, we would either be arguing or she be getting disrespectful on the phone.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
So it was one girl who I really did not like. And this was like even before I even met many friends. It was a girl from a past life. Just basically somebody who just really just had a problem for me just because she don't even really know who I was. You know how it is when you have people who just jealous of you for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
And you really don't understand why, but it just be a motherfucker just be hating on you because either you look better than them or you know what I'm saying, you cool better than them. It could just be anything. That's basically an insecure ass bitch. That's just insecure of you for no apparent reason. I found out that they was like basically dating behind my back. The way I found out was when I talked to her, I feel like, like I didn't even really like her at first, but I had a feeling like when she came back and tried to squash it somewhat, whatever, I was just like, like that's fine, but at the same time, I was just
you
like,
didn't trust her.
I really didn't trust her, and it was a gut in my feeling. It was like the universe was telling me like something ain't really like she here for a valuable reason. She ain't really here to just like squash whatever y'all had going on, even though I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So when I found out they was messing around, she was talking to me or two, whatever, but some way, somehow, they didn't click some type of way on Facebook. I really don't know. And it was one day she asked me, like, is this your girlfriend? And I was just like, no, that's not it, but why you asking about her? She was just like, well, I'm just asking. So I felt like that was kind of weird. I was like, whatever. And I let Minnie Fresh know. She was like, she knew what the hell was going on.
Damn, Minnie Fresh.
So whenever, like, it was one night, like, it was one day, I'll say, like, I was sitting in front of the bed, I was watching TV. So she's on the phone, but I'm just like, I'm watching TV, whatever, but I can hear the conversation that's, like, behind me. So she's with the girl asked where I was. She was like, oh, she right here. So, I turned back. I was like, like, what's up? Who asked about me? So she was just like, nobody talking about you. I was like, okay, but I'm still sitting on hearing what's going on. So I think later on that same night, the girl messaged me, and she messaged me. She was like, well, what's going on now, this, that, and the third? Because, I made a post about something that was actually really good, but she thought it was something else. So, I started, she was telling me, like, oh, well, I'm talking to this girl, and she said she don't want to be with her girl no more, she got a girlfriend, but she gonna end up breaking her, but we're gonna be good because we do this and that. So I was just like, okay, why the fuck you're telling me all this? I don't care. So when I noticed it, I can't remember exactly how she said it was. It kind of like put a light bulb over my head. But somewhere I was just like, I put two and two together, and I was just like, these bitches fucking around. So I was just like, and I guess I felt like real play all over the place. It took me everything not to bash this girl head over while she was asleep. I was like, you know what, don't do that. I just know how to handle it. So I confronted the girl the next day when they got into it. And then when I confronted Minnie Fresh about it, she acted like she didn't know what the hell was going on. But she put the girl on speaker. But she ended up, telling me like, hey, I done been in your house. I know how your bedroom looked like. I know how your kitchen looked like, your living room looked like. I know how the inside of your car looked like. I done been in your car. She done drove me in your car. I know where y'all live, this, that, and whatever. So I was just like, so basically you done just brought this bitch to my whole motherfucking house.
I know you fucking lying, bitch.
In my whole motherfucking life. And I felt stupid. So when it got real into it, and after then, it was just like the trust was like gone. Like it was already diminishing away from her, what she did previously. But at that point, when she did that, the trust was gone. Like it was just gone.
So you eventually left her?
After a while, because after that, and when she cheated on me again from another girl, Mississippi, she lied and said she went to Atlanta. She didn't go to Atlanta, and it was on my birthday. She been messing around with this one girl. I started noticing stuff on Facebook. They was liking each other posts on Facebook, the girl from Mississippi. So when she left on my birthday to take my truck, I was out of a car for 3 days. I sat at the house.
I would have called. I didn't mean to cut you off. I would have called the repo. Yo, somebody, I would have, man.
I was trying to, but I was just like, well, no, because they were gonna end up taking my car. So I was just like, well, let me just figure out another plan. So she was gone when I answered the phone, when I answered call, text, nothing. She was gone. So when I couldn't get in touch with her and she left, that's when she finally came back with a cookie cake. I was just like, my birthday was yesterday. You gonna come back to me with a cookie cake? I almost threw the cookie cake at her dumb ass.
I would have threw the motherfucking cookie cake. She already was mini fresh. I would have, bitch, you ain't got shit going on. You want to take the car and all that stuff?
Really, she was very already disrespectful to Candace. So Candace ain't really like her for real. He only dealt because, you know what I'm saying, because of me. But he really didn't like her at all.
Come on.
Eddie.
What happened on the floor?
We'll get to that later.
Anywho, so basically, when she came back with that, I was already pissed. At that point, I was just like, you know what, like, I'm real done with her at this point. So I was just like, I don't have no trust. Like, at that point, I really didn't want to be with her no more. Like that, I was just dealing at that point. So and then what put the tip of the cake was, I ended up seeing a picture of her and the girl in Mississippi. She went to go meet her parents. And I was just like, that hurts. And at that point, I was just like, nah, I hate you. Because I don't even want to deal with you. So after we done broke up, we done had still the deal. I had talked to my best friend about it. You know what I'm saying? She had to consult. Like I was really hurt about that whole situation. So after a while, I done moved on. She went and did her thing. She done left, packed her shit, went to go and start talking to a girl who had a mustache.
Damn.
That was one thing about her.
She had a mustache. I got a mustache, but
no, this girl had a whole mustache.
Oh my god,
She's a man.
Yeah, she was a man. She want a man. But babe, that was one thing about her. She was good at bouncing between females because she had a real deal commitment problem. She did not know how to like just talk to one person. She was like, it could be the simplest thing. She just switch up. And that's why I don't date cancers now, because it's like they can't make their fucking mind up. But after I started talking to her, after, you know what I'm saying, I done had, you know, other people I done talked to, whatever, I was just doing my thing. One day I went to my best friend's house, and my best friend was telling me like, hey, such and such finna come over here. So I was just like, okay, whatever. At that point, I didn't really care. So she came over. And she was just basically begging and pleading like, oh, can we like try this again? I want, you know what I'm saying, I'm sorry for everything that I did. I'm sorry how I hurt you. I just, you know, I just want to make it better for between us. Can you give me another chance? So at that point, I cussed her ass from A to fucking Z. I didn't give a fuck. I let her know that all this shit you done put me through, I really didn't fucking care. So at that time, I guess she felt like she was doing something for me because the girl that I was talking to at the time was basically doing some other whole shit. And
you had some bad relationships.
I had some bad relationships. I really did not want to be with her, and I tried that shit for a little while. I was just like, I basically faked that second part of the relationship with her.
Did you fake sex?
Yeah, I did.
And
Oh
my.
Oh Jesus, let me take
Because it was just like, it wasn't there no more. Like, you done done so much dirt to the point.
So you just
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, take the wheel.
At that point, I was just like, and I know you're not really supposed to do. You're just supposed to leave a person where they at. But I tried to just like, well, let me just see if I'm gonna give it a second chance. At that second chance, I was just like, just being with her made me sick on the stomach because I was just like, I couldn't never forget about that. So I was just like, at that point, like, you disgust me. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. So after being with her for about that little bit, I was just like, you know what? Because it was going back to where the fuck it was before. Because she was riding my car again. I was trying
doing the same routine.
Basically
the
doing
pattern.
the same.
The pattern is still wrote. You didn't get the pattern. But what got me was, you know, we got eventually moved on. We got together. And she was using your YouTube shit.
Yeah, she was.
And when she was using your YouTube shit, she trying to front me on my messenger. And I had to let her know. I'm the type of person, I ain't gonna play with you. I'm gonna come down there and do the do on your ass.
And that's on the motherfucking mob, bitch.
I don't give a fuck who you is. You say you got it, I got one too. You know what I'm saying? It's wherever it is. But keep in mind, I'm the type of person, I'm with that shit. I'm with the smoke. So I'm coming down there whether you like it or not. But eventually, she backed off. She left that shit alone. And we ain't heard from her no more since then. You know, it was just crazy.
And I don't plan on to, but I'm pretty sure she's doing the same shit. I don't know. She may not be, but I just know that after then, she gave me a bad taste in my mouth as far as cancers, because it's just like, now I don't deal with people like that no more with her. But she really gave me a lesson on certain things, but now I have to get better on that, because on some of that stuff that she done to me, I had to basically let that go because I was putting it off on her. So I had to basically get better on myself, but I ain't gonna forget what she did.
Yeah.
But it just like, you know, I have to, whenever I do see leeches like that, whenever I do see people like that like her, I have to remind people like, hey, look, when they doing stuff like this, I know because I already been there. So I don't know. She may be still hopping around from female to female. She may still got those commitment problems. I don't know.
Just hopping.
But she showed me a lesson. It just like she did. You can never trust a leech. You can never trust a motherfucker, you know, who does have commitment problems.
Yeah, so if y'all like the story, go on, leave that comment. Like, comment, subscribe to this channel. Like I said, if you're new, like, comment, subscribe from this channel. What?
And make sure to hit that bell.
Okay. And we out.
Come on, keep it real.